Well, hello again and welcome to the 77th Annual Wabash Valley Exhibition here at the Swope Art Gallery. You know, first of all, I know many of you have been here before. Some of you haven't. Welcome to our attic. As we move forward with our capital campaign, we hope to transform this attic space, the space behind us and behind the wall. A lot of that will become our new art storage area. We are severely cramped on the second floor. We will have restrooms and a catering kitchen, and hopefully make this more available for receptions, meetings, gatherings of all sorts. We have requests all the time, but we're just not set up to accommodate the public very well in that regard. With the new convention center coming downtown, we expect that all the museums downtown are going to be used for receptions. And we'd love to have receptions up here as opposed to the galleries where the art is. It makes it much more difficult. You also may notice the first floor gallery is closed, and I want to bring you up to date on what's going on there. Starting Sunday, the first floor galleries and the lobby will be painted for the first time in 21 years. That'll take several days. All the art out of the first floor galleries is down, always down. Please, I hope there's no grammarians here. Except for 5 o'clock tea. 5 o'clock tea is an immovable object. She is just too large to do anything else, so she's well protected with plastic. A week later, we are finally going to do something that's been overdue for some time, and that is refinish the floors in the lobby and the first floor gallery. These floors are a true craftsmanship work to be proud of by Charles Crispin, who did this in 2020. He's gone on to do this all over the country and outside the country. His most famous client is Oprah. But he's done remarkable floors, so he's bringing a crew in, and it will take about a week to do that. So consequently, we will be closed from around the 14th to the day after Thanksgiving. The whole museum will, because we won't be able to go through the lobby at that time. But we will reopen on first Friday, December 3rd, and that will be with a very interesting show in the first floor gallery, which was the title of which is Renoir and Who's Your Impressionist? We are lucky to have the loan of a beautiful Renoir painting, a vase of flowers, that belonged to the late Mary Frederick Holman, hung in her home on South 6th Street until until she moved to Marquette Manor in Indianapolis in the 1990s. She passed away in 1998, and the painting's been in storage since. Kathy George Conforti, her daughter, who is also an artist, got the painting, claimed the painting, when the 4 children divided up the estates here recently. And she thought it'd be a good idea for the people at Terre, Haute to have a chance to see it. She had it conserved at the Conservatory Center of Chicago. And we have gathered from our collection and a couple from without our collection, excellent examples of Who's Your Impressionist, who were presumably influenced either directly or indirectly by Renoir. So that show will go up first Friday a month from now, and will be up through April. So please come in. There'll be plenty of publicity on that, and you know, many people in Gerald would never have a chance to see a Renoir, so this we think will be an excellent opportunity. I should note that November 3rd was the 178th birthday anniversary of the late Sheldon Swope. He came to Terre Haute as a young man volunteering for the Civil War, and after the war he came back, opened a jewelry shop on Wabash Avenue, and in 1901 did a couple of very interesting things. He built this building as a commercial venture. He never occupied it with his shop, but it was rented out to businesses. This up here was the Terre Haute Commercial College until about 1941. Where men and women, mostly women, learned to type, shorthand, etc. And it moved to other locations, and its last location was the Harrison Business College out on 46, which went out of business a few years ago. So the other thing he did in 1901 was write his will. And the will said that upon his death, his estate would be invested for 10 years. At the end of that 10 years, it would be used to open an art gallery for the people of the city, people of Terre, and that admission would always be free, and it would be managed by a 3-member board of managers, one of whom must be a woman. He died in 1929. The money was invested, and the gallery, the Swope Art Gallery, was opened in 1942. So we're going to be celebrating our 80th anniversary next spring, and we're going to have the Maryland Pendergast Spring Dinner on Sunday, March the 1st. We always have it first Sunday of March, or May 1st, excuse me, and it will be at the new Terre Haute Convention Center. And we will probably be the first event in that center. So put it on your calendars now. We hope to have a good turnout and celebrate the 80th anniversary of the Swope and the 70th anniversary of the Swope Alliance. Tonight, we celebrate the 77th consecutive opening of the Wabash Valley Exhibition, one of the largest juried exhibitions and longest lived in the state of Indiana. This year, we received 515 entries from 164 artists in 5 states. And we have 75 works of art downstairs. I think all of you see it. You enjoying the show? Is it positive? Great. And tonight, this evening, we're going to hear from our jurors, Drék Davis. Drék and his lovely wife, Glennis, have been with us yesterday, today, and we've really enjoyed having them here. He is a professor and head of the Department of Visual and Performing Arts at Grambling State University in Grambling, Louisiana. But when he came last night, the sweatshirt and hat and everything else he had on was as a Georgia Bulldog, where he's a 2006 graduate of the Georgia Fine Arts program, where he had an emphasis on drawing and painting in his studies. He's also a former columnist for the Athens Banner Herald and Cozy Online Black Visual Culture Now. He's been an excellent jurist, and please read his statement in the catalog, which you'll get as you leave. And so now it's my pleasure to introduce Drék Davis for his comments on the show. Drék.
Good evening. Don't sit far too high there, destination. So, first of all, thank Fred and Amy for having me, and for you all who are in attendance that submitted works, for taking the time and the energy to submit pieces for this wonderful exhibition. I'm going to try to keep this as short and painless as I possibly can, but I'm going to apologize in advance for boring you to death. So, I understand that we're on a clock, so I'm going to try to get this thing moving here. If I can take my glasses off so I can see. So one of the primary questions that was presented, and is always presented to jurors, I guess, is how do you make your selection? And for the most part, I think the majority of the work just kind of selected itself. Out of 500 plus pieces, the vast majority of the work being above par. You know, it was kind of hard to scale it. That was not kind of hard, but it was extremely difficult to scale it down to 70-something works. But there seemed to be some connective tissue between the majority of the pieces that were presented, and maybe it was just my interpretation, but it felt like most of the work was speaking to the moment, right? Speaking to all the things that we've all been going through collectively and individually. And so, you know, that was at the heart of my selection process, and trying to whittle down the works. So we had more than a few works that dealt with loss, works that dealt with representation, works that dealt with the anxiety associated with health concerns, work that dealt with isolation and dispossession, work that dealt with anxiety of a variety of natures, work that dealt with the remembrance of places long since gone, work that dealt with the intention to dismantle and do away with stereotypes, and works that considered the interior spaces that we occupy, especially the spaces that we occupied over the last year and a half. And works of an ethereal nature. And last but not least, we had more than a few works that dealt with pauses, appreciations of nature that would give us space to breathe and have some sort of respite from the chaos that we've been enduring over the past year and a half or so. And so that is the broad sweep of the majority of the work that I view. And as I stated, I think that they all work together to speak to the trials and tribulations that the majority of us have been dealing with in some form or fashion. A lot of what I think about when I talk to my students about art and just to people in general is this idea that art has some sort of inherent purpose, aside from what the artist's intention for the work is. And I usually begin all of my art appreciation classes with this quote from W.B. Du Bois. Thus all art is propaganda, and ever must be. Despite the wailing of purists, I stand in utter shamelessness and say that whatever art I have writing has been used always for propaganda for gaining the right of black folk to love and enjoy. I do not care a damn for any art that is not used for propaganda, but I do care when propaganda is confined to one side while the other is stripped and silent. Thus, all art is propaganda and ever must be. So W.B. Du Bois wrote this in 1926 as part of the criteria for Negro art. Primarily, of course, he's writing specifically for artists working during the Harlem Renaissance. But the larger and the longer version of the essay deals with what the artist's responsibility is for the community that they inhabit, that the work will circulate in, and also just in general what the importance of the impact, the potential impact of the work is. And I think that he's talking about propaganda in a much more emphatic sense as opposed to the political way that we think about it in the 21st century, right? That every work of art has some sort of story to tell, some sort of emotional content that it's trying to get across. And I think you pick up on that in the pieces that are presented in the show here. Quite often though, the ideas that we have in mind don't necessarily go the way that we intend for them to go. And so when we present these works to the public, people may not necessarily pick up on what we're trying to put forth. And so I take this into consideration when I'm thinking about the works that I look at when it comes to jurying, but I also think about it, of course, when I'm working on my personal work. My work is rooted primarily in history and investigations of pop culture. I come from Monroe, Georgia, which is in Walton County. Walton County has the dubious distinction of being the home of the last mass lynching in the United States. And one of the victims was my grandmother's cousin. George and they married Dorothy, and Roger and Dorothy Malcolm fell victim to a lynch mob in 1946. And so these are things that are ingrained not only in the family lineage, but also just in the regional memory, this collective trauma that we deal with, right? And it informs in a lot of ways the way that I have learned to think about what the potential intention and power of the work that I make is and can be. And so I've made a wide variety of work that deals with the way that we think about where we receive our information from, which individuals that we look up to in society, and how do we use those impulses and inclinations from the individuals that we invest our time with to chart the path that we take in life. I make a lot of work that is dealing with reconsiderations of history, reappropriation of old materials and trying to make them new, merging of histories, the African influence, the European influence, and the Southern American states that creates the broad swath of what it is that we call America, that is often overlooked. I deal a lot with text and imagery, and hoping to recontextualize the way that we think about what we define what it is to be an American. I deal a lot with the ideas associated with the term freedom and what that looks like when it manifests in works of art. More recently, I've been trying to do some things that are a little more far afield from what I've been doing, primarily because of my duties as a department head. I don't have as much time as I would like in the studio, so I spend a lot of time noodling in Photoshop, and some of the time those things wind up working out to be quote-unquote finished pieces. So these last couple of selections are pieces from a group show that I'm in right now at the Mass Museum in Monroe, Louisiana. Still playing with text, still playing with imagery that speaks to the history of America and trying to recontextualize those things. And in some form or fashion, still, through all those works, dealing with some of the after effects of 2018, 2019, 2020, and 2021, hopefully not 2022. I primarily work in isolation, as a lot of artists do, but more recently, I've been working with a collective of artists known as the Black Creative Circle of North Louisiana. And so, which, you know, here we have a picture, just a handful of the members. And, you know, it strikes me that the Swope is a community member, and the work that is presented here is a part of that community, and each one of you that, you know, facilitate, you know, this exhibition even existing are, you know, extended and participating members of that community as well. And so the strength of the show is a testament to you and your investment in this institution and what you want to be going forward. So, you know, you should be thanking yourselves for the strength of the exhibition of the 77th Annual Wabash Exhibition. Thank you.
Thank you, Drék. And I have more good news. Drék will be back in February and March with a show of his own here at the Swope. And that's be a great time. Now it's my pleasure to introduce Amy McLennan, the new curator of the Swope. She's known to many of you by her involvement in the arts in the Terre community and for many years. We're pleased to welcome her back after several years at McKendree University near St. Louis. Let me take a moment to thank Amy, who of course is our new curator, as well as our new registrar, Abby Klaus, our new education director, Emily Bennett, our building supervisor, Jim Dawson, our office manager, Christy Finley, our communications head, Sammy Giannopoulos, and our tireless worker, Carolyn Heath, for bringing this exhibition together over the last couple weeks and today. There's always quite a bit that goes into something like this, and I think we all agree we've got a great exhibition. We got a great team, and for any artists who are here, when Amy presents the awards, please walk up here. Drék will shake hands with you, give you a certificate. We'll take a photograph of that. And we will, and any of the artists who aren't here, we will mail those to them. So it's my pleasure now to introduce Amy to present the awards.
Taking my entire presentation away from me. I really do want to thank the great team that we have here. We're just awesome, right? So go, and he already said all the names. So, you know, Abby, Sammy, Emily, Jim, Christy, I'm leaving somebody out right now. Carolyn, did I leave anybody else out? No, okay. Because I didn't write any of that down, of course, because that's just the way I roll. But anyhow, I also want to thank Drék for coming here, for jurying, and for giving such a powerful talk here, and such a wonderful reflection on community and the art that is present here. And thank you very much. And thank all of you artists for submitting your work for the Wabash Valley Exhibition. It is a very good show, and I do want a special shout out especially to Abby Klaus and Caroline Heath for, you know, really making a nice layout for us and setting the lights in a really nice way. So special thanks out to you. So we have, let me see if I can open this, if you just bear with me. Do I have it up here? Here it is. Okay. And we have a lot of awards, and I think so. You've got this set up a little bit differently than I normally do, so we'll see if that works. Are we ready? The first slide should be that one. So we're perfect. Yay! Thank you, Drék. It really has, it's been a pleasure to work with Drék all day today and to meet his wife Glynis, and we've just had a time here. So we're going to have to bring him back. Oh, in fact, we are bringing him back. Drék will be having an exhibition here at the Swope in the spring, so February, March, I believe. So you'll get to see some of those, the way his mind is, makes great ideas visual then. So look for that. Okay, are we ready? All right, so there's really no good order on these, but I'm gonna start with the purchase awards, all right? So our very first purchase award is the Pi Kappa Alpha Purchase Award for James Swanson, Train Out of Town. Is James here today? No? Okay. I'm going to move on. Thank you, James. It's just always beautiful to see a landscape painting like this. And as a Hautian, a native Hautian, I'm refamiliarizing myself with getting railroaded again. So. All right, our very next award is the Pi Kappa Alpha Purchase Award for Gerald Trakov, model 1917. Gerald, you are here tonight, so thank you, congratulations. Gerald was telling me about this, this is actually a, is that showing? It's not showing. Sorry, so here we go. Gerald was showing me that this is a, actually a pistol that belonged to his grandfather.
Yes, my grandfather. My grandfather, he worked in the steel mills up in Gary, Indiana, back in during the Depression era, and it's a pretty rough area. And he purchased that gun because it was dangerous going back and forth to the steel mills, and he used it to, for protection. Fortunately, he never had to actually use it.
Well, that's a relief. So thank you for making a beautiful painting. Our very next purchase award is the Indiana State University Purchase Award. Thanks to Ian Carey, the new curator of the permanent collection there, for choosing special work that is very dear to my heart. This is a digital illustration by a young lady named Unique Rice. We call her Mina. She's actually a former student of mine from McKendree, so I'm just really thrilled that her work was selected for a purchase award. And she can't be here tonight, but I know that she's just going to be over the top excited when she learns that she's won an award. So, here we go. Next up is the Rose Holman Institute Technology Purchase Award, and this was selected by the curator at Rose Holman, Christy Brinkman Robertson, and she has selected here this beautiful lino cut, which is, of course, something we all have been thinking about a lot more than we ever thought we would be thinking about, our very own lungs and how we breathe the air and how we share the air, probably very importantly. So Laurie Brousseau's Just Breathe. I do not know if Laurie is with us tonight. If you are, okay, thanks, Laurie. Next up is the Nancy Seidel Jones Purchase Award, and that is Alicia Dawn Criswell's oil painting, If Only. So, oh, here she is, Laurie. What a fun painting this is. Yes, it looks like a cutout, but it's it's a wonderful example of trompe l'oeil painting. Which is very fun. We appreciate that. Thank you very much, Alicia. Next up is the Tanya and Brad Bulge Purchase Award. And thanks to Jerry Smith for Heartland Cord. And this is a gorgeous painting. I just found it really stunning, a beautiful landscape. And when it first came in, I thought maybe it was a photograph, and then I looked at it and I thought, that's really beautiful painting on there. It's very painterly. So thank you, Jerry. And next up, thanks, Jerry. Next up is the Ellie M. Caldwell Purchase Award. And congratulations to Atossa Romanofir, and I apologize if I am not pronouncing that name correctly. I do not know if the artist is here tonight. No? For Rhapsody in Red. This is a truly gorgeous, well, stunning oil and encaustic painting that is going to look beautiful in Ellie's home. Next up. Next up is the Ellie and Richard Templeton Purchase Award. And for that, we want to congratulate Lisa Palo for her hand-blown furnace. I'm going to get this wrong now, sorry. It is a furnace-worked blown glass vase, finally. And it's a really, really beautiful piece, and I do not know if Lisa is here with us tonight. So. Next up is Awards of Merit, and I'd like to introduce the Michael D. Bouzash Annual Artistic Award of Merit. And I want to say that when I was an undergrad way back when, Dr. Bouzash, or Mr. Bouzash, was my French teacher. And so it's, I don't know if he's here tonight, but I always gives me warm feels whenever I see this award. He loves art too. We'd like to congratulate Jill Miller for PPE for winning the Michael D. Bouzash award. Thank you. Next up is the Danette Angermeier Memorial Fund of the Wbcf Award of Merit. Danette Angermeier was a gifted photographer. I had the pleasure of working with her when I was at Indiana State many years ago, and I'm glad that she can continue to be remembered with this award. So, and I'd like to congratulate Julie Skoda for her gorgeous pastel drawing entitled Waiting. Is Julie here tonight? We'll thank her anyway. And next up we have awards of recognition. I just want to say again, thanks to our office manager, Christy Finley, for sorting out all of this stuff, and a lot of it was last minute, and I'm just really grateful for that. So awards of recognition coming up, and I'd like to announce the Elsa Morris Award of Recognition, and Ramiro Rodriguez, Nuestro Senorita de Fosforo, is Ramiro Rodriguez here tonight. No, let's congratulate him anyway. And now for the Cindy Cox Award of Recognition, Fran Latanzio. the witness of jury. And now I'm going to get verklempt because Fran was my teacher too. And now she's a great friend and big influence on me, so congratulations. Next up is the Sharon Jolly Award of Recognition in honor of Sharon Daly. And that award goes to none other than the famous Michael Neary for Newsweek #1. I say that, those of you who know me know that Michael's my better half, and I had nothing to do with the selection of the awards. I just want to tell you. But I do want to say he's awesome, and I agree. Thank you. I couldn't be more proud. Okay. And next up is the Sharon Jolly Award of Recognition in honor of Mrs. Betsy Hine. And for the winner of that award is Jean Garrett for Healing 3. I don't know if Jean's with us tonight. If you are, can you put a hand up in the air? Okay, we'll congratulate Jean anytime. Next up is the Richard Shagley Award of Recognition, and that award was chosen by our juror for Atossa Romanofar's Rhapsody in Red. So, congratulations again. I think I was supposed to talk, and say very insightful things about all these pieces as they come up, but I'm not capable of that, so I'm just going to say say what I can. So thank you all for being here and being so patient. Next up is the Julia Turner Award of Recognition in memory of Phyllis Dye Turner. Another connection there, Phyllis gave my daughter her first writing lesson, and so I'm thrilled that she is also remembered in this way. She was, of course, a valued member of the Swope, and this is a beautiful sculpture. I hope you can recognize it from this close-up image we have. Congratulations to Carrie Longley for Asclepia syriaca, or common milkweed. And next up is the Eleanor Cox Riggs Award of Recognition, and that award goes to the only artist who got 3 pieces accepted in the exhibition. So, and triple congratulations to this very interesting artist, Olivia Hinkle, for Like Hell. Next up is the Jennifer and Andy Myers Award of Recognition in memory of Dr. Wayne and Helen Crockett, recognizing 2 art lovers. And that award goes to Rob Millard Mendez for Trojan Horse. And next up we have the Arts well, how can I not say something about Trojan Horse? But it's a really incredible sculpture, a little bit interactive, and I hope you've all enjoyed it. We enjoyed installing it and setting it up for you. Next up is the Arts Ileana Award of Recognition, and that goes to Michael Marling for Heart of Gold. Is Michael here with us tonight? Oh, awesome. Next up is the Lynd Law Firm Award of Recognition, and that goes to a very beautiful piece, Todd Matson's Mountain Pass. Is Todd with us tonight? Yeah. Well, we'll congratulate Todd for this beautiful ceramic bowl that graces the walls downstairs. Do make sure you go down and give all of these pieces a second look. We still have a few more to go. The Rachel Berenson Perry Award of Recognition for a work on paper, and that award goes to Craig Fisher for Carrion. Is Craig here tonight? This is an etching and aquatint. I think it's quite an accomplishment from a printmaker standpoint. That's a very large plate to have to wipe and get right every time. So kudos to Craig. Our next award is the Ellie M. Caldwell CPA Award of Recognition. And that award goes to Todd Stokes. For Pandemic Park, congratulations. Yeah, he's pretty good. He's pretty good. Yeah, thank you. Next up is the Eileen Prose Award of Recognition. Eileen also gets the award for having the best name, but this is the Eileen Prose Award of Recognition in memory of Ted Prose. And thank you, Eileen, for sponsoring this award. Vandra Pentecost is going to be thrilled to win an award for Radiance. What a great community we are, and not only do we have the Arts Ileana Award, but we also have the Link Art Gallery Award for the Award of Recognition in honor of the Link Art Gallery in Paris, Illinois. So we're thrilled to announce that John Wolfer has won that award for Almost Savage. John? John was another artist who got more than one piece in. I think that's a very short list. It's Olivia Hinkle and John Wolfer, so congratulations to both of them. I wish they could have been here tonight, but understood. Next up is the Dorothy W. Jurors Award of Recognition, and that award goes to Eileen Woods for You're Only Alive If Someone Remembers You. So congratulate Eileen. And next up is the David and Joan Zahn Award of Recognition. And thank you, David and Joan Zahn, for supporting our artists. Here we go, is Carl Gay for his photograph Siesta. Is Carl Gay here? Next up is the Tanya and Chris Path Award of Recognition, and that goes to Timothy Tyree, Down in It. Next up is the Awards of Honor, and first up is the Sarah Decker Name Award of Honor, and that goes to to Austin Roberts for Adhesive Phantasm. And Austin's here. Come on up. Thank you. Congratulations. It's a lovely little painting. In case you didn't look at it very closely, that is not a piece of tape stuck on top of the canvas. It's another wonderful example of trompe-l'oeil, fool the eye painting, and a wonderful concept also. What is real, right? Next up is Sarah Decker-Ning sponsored several awards. Next up is the Sarah Decker-Ning Award of Honor for Cody Winter's Midwestern Grandeur. Is Cody here tonight? This is a beautiful little gouache painting. Very lovely, very well done. Next up is the Alliance of the Swope Award of Honor, and we're always grateful to the Alliance and all the things that they do for our community. And that award goes to Betty J. Scarpino for her piece entitled With Child. Next up is the Dr. William and Betsy Hine Award of Honor, and that goes to Terry Lacey for Bird's Eye Journal. So congratulations, Terry. Next up is the Frank Swain MD Award of Honor, and that award goes to Wyatt LeGrand for From 10 and a Half. This is also another Terre Haute scene, and this is before the train went by. So, yeah, a beautiful painting there. So, congratulations, Wyatt. Next up is the Kevin and Emily Runyon Award of Honor in honor of their 50th wedding anniversary. Congratulations, Kevin and Emily for Runyon for being married for 50 years. And also, congratulations to James Shepard for writing. Congrats. Thank you. Thank you. Next up is the Fred and Nancy, or I'm sorry, Nancy and Fred Nation Award of Honor. And that goes to George Warman. Stop Killing Us. This is a great piece. Next up is the Susan and George Britton Award of Honor, and that award goes to Jonathan Lee for Barrier. All right, congratulations, Jonathan. We have a few more awards to go, so thank you again for your patience, and I know it's very exciting. Awards of distinction are coming up next. So the first of those awards is the Alliance of the Swope Award of Distinction, and that goes to Lisa Palo for her blown glass piece, The Sun Rises. The next award is Lainie Meese Award of Distinction, and congratulations again to Jerry Smith for Heartland Court. You're up here? You should have gotten a chair a little closer to the podium. Thank you. All right, and now we're ready for the Brenda F. Millerin Award of Distinction in memory of Bill Millerin, and that award goes to, well, one of the more, a really fun piece, I think. Mark Werpenberg's Peony with Little Buddy. So. Congratulations, Mark. Next up is the Billy Cactus Studios Award of Distinction, and I'd like to congratulate Unique Rice for Man in a Sunflower Do-Rag for that award. And she's not here, but we'll clap anyway. And we have another Sarah Decker-Ning Award of Distinction this time, and that award goes to Bruce Erickson for his wonderful painting, Love Comforting Loss. Next up are our grand prizes. Once again, I want to make sure that everybody knows just what a big deal this is to be an artist and to get in here, to get into this show with so many entrants. And it is a stunningly, I think it's a beautiful show, and congratulations to all of you. And I'm very honored to be here and to be a part of this small way. The Bill Carl's Grand Prize Award goes to Michael Bruner for Adam. Congratulations, Michael. And here's where I'm really going to trip over this. Someone please correct me. The Quinquagenary Grand Prize in Painting, given in memory of Emily Cox Gedrick, and that award goes to Martin Arnold's Shawanda. There should be a D in there, but that's a lovely thing. That was my typo, by the way, so I should have known better. Sorry. We'll fix that. And now we need a drum roll because this is our final award. It's the Howard E. Wooden. Thank you. I love the audience participation. That's great. The Howard E. Wooden Senior Memorial Best of Show Grand Prize, and that award goes to Alexandra McNichol Corleto. For the Amazon rainforest turning into a savanna and carbon dioxide emitter. And for those of you who don't know, Alexandra great explorer. She travels to the rainforest. She rides in canoes. She has people pointing guns at her, and she gives wonderful talks all over the world. And I think, and she's just really an amazing person, an artist, and really, I'm so happy.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I really wanted to thank so many people here, but especially Frank Latancio, who was my professor. I don't know anybody that is like her, like a walking Bible of photography. Steve Cash, who is the journalist who actually has the reporter who was is been for 10 years reporting about all of my work and documentation, and obviously one of my best friends, Tad Stacks here, who actually is my framer and an excellent support here, and my kids are not here, but This is, all of my work is dedicated to Gerald and Maya Lucia McNichols, my children. Thank you so much.
That's just one reason why it's so great to be back in Terre Haute and to be here at the Swope. And I want to thank you all for coming tonight. I want to thank you all for submitting your work. I want to thank you all for celebrating all of our artists here tonight. Be a part of our Swope community. Become a member if you aren't already, and come see us. Okay, thank you very, very much. Enjoy your evening.
Just want to, a couple of final words. First of all, we gave tonight more than $20,000 in either awards or purchases of paintings. The Swope takes no commission from this. All the money goes to the artist. We started not taking commissions during COVID. We'll continue to do that for the foreseeable future. So thank you all for coming. There's plenty of food and drink in the back. And go back down now and to see the show. You'll be able to pick up a catalog downstairs with the winners in it. Thank you very much for coming.